Yeah, Brenda Blackman and Mike Woods. I was there last year when Mike Woods was kicking around the schools, kicking around our centers, I'm sorry, and giving out the backpack for school.
Yes.
And he was well received, Mike Woods. He did a great job. A lot of people liked him. They knew him, too.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting that you know the weatherman.
Right. Everybody knows the weatherman. And he's actually one of the most popular ones in the tri-state area. Yeah. So to have him out and really support you and the council and really, get the word out. He did speak during each of...
Don't you want to come back as a weatherman? Because it doesn't much matter what you say, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. We're going to get 3 inches of snow. You get 35, and it's okay. I told you I was going to get snow, but anyway.
I know, but the theme was empowerment. So his speech and his words and comments were really to talk to the kids and say, I wanted to be a weatherman since I think he said like 6 years old, since he was young, and these are the things that he had to do. So he had to just motivate himself, go to school, stay in school, do well in school. So, it was
Tell us about some of the sponsors and speakers at this year's event.
Well, this year we have, as I mentioned before, MetLife. They're a big partner. They're doing a lot of the financial empowerment piece for us. But we also invited some of the banks as well. New York Community Bank is coming. They're going to say some words about savings and using, what it's like to use a financial institution versus maybe, not using one of the local check cashing places that might not be the best way to save to cash money, but really using banking as a service. We have PSC&G is sponsoring the Empowerment Lunch, which is on Friday, the awards luncheon. That's a culmination of the whole week-long event, and for that, Brenda Blackman is going to be the keynote speaker from My 9 News. So she's going to come and talk to the women about empowerment as well. We have quite a few sponsors, PNC Bank, we have Capital One Bank coming. We have NeighborWorks, Deborah Boatwright from NeighborWorks. She's going to talk about what community development is and how to get those resources. We also have Alpha Demalash from the CEO for Rising Tide. She is a CNN hero, and her goal is to help rising entrepreneurs, those that are in the community that might not know where to go for basic entrepreneurial training, but have talent and have a product that they can produce. Her organization puts things together and has a whole entrepreneurial training program that helps people start their own businesses. So,
Sarai, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show this evening, explaining what's going on with the Women's Empowerment Seminar during Women's History Month, and look forward to working with you on issues in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
For Sarai, I'm Chris Bollwage. Please stay with us after these messages. We're back with more with Alina Alvarez, a neighborhood block watch captain in the 4th Ward. Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined in the second half of this show by Miss Alina Alvarez, who is a captain of a block watch group in the 4th Ward of our city. Alina, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Now tell us a little about yourself, Alina. You've been involved in the 4th Ward, I know, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm a mother of 3, and that's quite difficult. They're very good kids, but it depends the day of the week sometimes,
Well, don't all parents have that issue?
Yes, so it's quite an issue. I went back to school now that they are all back in school, and I'm going for biologist in public health. I have about another maybe 10 credits to go. And it's been quite interesting journey being a mother, being very activist in the community, which I have always tried to be. So that's pretty much all of that there is.
Now, one of your daughters sings quite well.
Oh yes,
I got to hear her not long ago.
She's a singer. Yes, she performs in New York. She goes to the new school in Manhattan, and she's definitely into her singing.
She's very good. Now, Alina, you became involved in the community over a couple of issues.
Yes.
And you formed your own neighborhood block watch group.
Yes.
That's very successful. You usually have between 20 and 40 people at your meetings, depending on what it is. Tell us about what made you get involved, first of all, in the block watch groups.
Well, that goes back about 16 years ago. We started having a lot of crime in the neighborhood, and we decided to come into my house, and we started having meetings in my living room. Everyone would bring cookies and coffee, and we would sit down and talk about the issues affecting the neighborhood. After a while, we decided, well, maybe we should make this for everybody. And we did. We contacted the police department. We got in contact with your office, And we invited a lot of people to come to our neighborhood meeting, and that's how everything started. It's called the Westminster Citizens Association, and we've been on for 16 years serving the community in many of the issues that are important to them.
And your meetings are held on a Wednesday, I believe. Where at?
Yes, they're Wednesday at 7:30, 3rd Westminster Church on Salem Avenue. And we've been there, like I said, for about 16 years now.
Now, there was an issue that you got heavily involved in. I mean, the crime, you've brought police to the meetings and you've helped reduce crime and issues in your neighborhood because of you and your commitment. But you also got heavily involved in the cell tower fight. And at times, I think you knew more about this cell tower issue than members of the zoning board or the city council, because every time I spoke with you about it, you were extremely well versed. What did you do? How did you get all that knowledge?
Well, first of all, my major is public health and biology. So to me, public health is a big issue and the quality of life that our residents are having. So when I've noticed that these towers were going on, a lot of the neighbors came over and said, "Alina, did you get this letter in the mail?" I said, "No." Then I started to read up on it, and I read many different articles. I went actually back to the biology department. I consulted with different people in the field, and I became almost an expert at radio frequency emission. We went back about it was about 7 months going back and forth between the city and experts. They actually came back out to make sure that the radio frequency emission would be adequate and that it was adequate so that no one would be harmed in the future. We were also able to achieve being able to come back maybe a year or two from now and find out what that frequency emission is. So yes, I definitely became very involved in that.
And because you're involved in the community and because you got involved, you decided to seek the office of 4th Ward City Council this year.
Yes.
Not a small feat. I mean, you obviously have worked the neighborhood very strongly through the years. What made you decide to seek the office of City Council?
Well, there were many factors involved. I'm obviously not satisfied with the way that the 4th Ward is going and what is going on in the 4th Ward. And many of our neighbors are very dissatisfied, as well as the rest of the residents in the 4th Ward. So I decided, well, why not? I'm always fighting for something, so why not, step up to the plate and try to see if we can, fix things a little bit better than what they are right now.
And one of the things that happened, I remember meeting your mother when you decided to run, and she is so concerned about your well-being, which is absolutely terrific. But she's also very proud of you.
Yes, my mom always tells me, "What are you getting yourself into now?" But then after I get into it, she goes, "Oh, that's very good. That's really good. Why don't you keep doing it?" And I'm like, "Mom, I thought you didn't want me to do this." So yes, she's very supportive. I'm actually very glad that she's supportive because I really do admire my mom a lot. I mean, she dedicated 37 years to public education, and it's good to feel that, she supports me, yes.
And Alina, if you get elected to the city council, I mean, during the campaign, it's going to be a lot of hard work. What do you hope to accomplish? More police patrols, or what do you?
I definitely would like to see the crime come down. I think because of the economic circumstances that we're in right now, crime is definitely going up. I would like to see that come back down the way it used to be. Roughly about 4 or 5 years ago, we really had very little issues in the neighborhood. At that point, Alina was planting little flowers and having barbecues and other type of issues. So definitely the crime, I want to see that come down. I am also very interested in finding ways that we can have new jobs coming to Elizabeth. The economic situation right now really is very bad for most of our residents. They're, it's very difficult for them right now to be able to pay their bills and to keep up pretty much with what, with whatever their financial obligations are. So I definitely would like to come up with whatever ideas I can to be able to see more jobs coming to the 4th Ward in Elizabeth.